Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Today is May 2nd of 2022 already. It seems like every day life goes by faster and faster and faster. So as they say, when you're younger, it's like, wait till you get older because the days go by faster. I swear that's what it does because it seems like you never have time to do everything you want to do in one day. So with that, thank you for joining. I'm Diana Hinkle, and tonight we are going to talk about Clove Essential Oil. This is one of those that for so long, for me, being in the dental, I'm from the dental world. I did that for 25 years and always knew about clove. So everything dental is clove. But there's a lot of things that I didn't know about clove that I'm going to teach you guys tonight. And some ways that you may never have thought about. And what's the difference between what you see somewhere else, like what you find at the store shelf, versus what we have. So again, thank you for joining me. Now, this is nothing about curing, treating, or diagnosing anything. I am here to give you some information. Clove is one of those essential oils. It's considered a very hot oil. In other words, it can be very sensitive to your skin because it is very numbing. So coming from the dental world, when you think about clove, so when people have an abscess or toothache, if you've had a tooth removed and then you feel like you've got a problem after the fact, well, dental has a paste that has clove in it, and it's on a strip, and they put that in the socket after a tooth is removed. If you end up removing that blood clot at the top, it clots. And so that's kind of covering that hole that the tooth came out of. So that's all got to integrate itself. It's got to rejuvenate itself and fill in, right? Well, sometimes we do things that we shouldn't do. And so it ends up removing the cover. And so then feels like a toothache, but you don't have a toothache. Now you have an infection going on in the bone itself. So this is something, clove is one of those items, or a salve, as you might say, that they put in there to help get rid of that. So knowing what clove does for you dentally, we can also use this in the mouth for kids that are teething. Okay, so infants or children that are teething, we can use it for that. However, this is something you want to highly dilute. 1 drop to a teaspoon worth of your carrier oil, like the fractionated coconut oil, because there's no flavor to that, and use it on a cotton swab and only pat the area on top where the tooth is coming in. You can just place it there for a couple seconds and it will numb that area. So I know some of you are probably used to wives' tale of, well, we use alcohol. Well, it's the same idea because it's numbing the area. So that will actually, clove will actually do that too, but it's a natural thing. Now for me, when I go to the dentist, if I have to have any kind of dental work, I don't like the topical applications that they use because it's all synthetic, for one. I've never liked them. And thank God I don't ever have to have a whole lot done. But I will take my clove and they will actually use that to numb my inner cheek area so that I can get my injection. And they don't have a single problem doing that. They just put it on the cotton swab, put it in there, and then leave it for a few seconds or a minute or so, and then I get the injection. And it works out beautifully because I know that I'm not getting something that's going to be bad for me one way or the other, and they're okay with helping me use what I'd like to have. And so for me, that's a great alternative, right? Knowing that I have a dentist that will accommodate me and how I want things. Now, not everybody's accommodating like that, and they have to really know that that's really what you're going to do. And so, and that they have to agree with it. So the next time you go to the dentist, ask them, hey, or if you have to have any dental work done, ask if that's something that they would help, that they would help you do or do for you. So remember, everything dental, if there's a toothache, if there's an abscess going on, it's the same idea. You can even put some on your finger, put it on the abscess itself. What that can do is draw out the infection, and so that the infection will actually drain. Now, granted, yes, you should still go to the dentist. Don't just rely on that as your alternative method to treating yourself, because that's not what we're doing. This is just something to help you in the meantime until you get to the dentist, because dental infections are not something to mess around with. And you can go the opposite side, because when you have a bad toothache or a toothache, then water, warm water, will typically help that toothache. And there's times when you will drink too much water. Too much water is not a good thing. And there are people that are hospitalized because they drink too much water. Yes, we should drink half of our body weight in fluid ounces. Okay, just know that, but you can't do it all at once. You have to bring yourself up to that. So it's a very real thing that you can get sick from drinking too much water. It's for real. Okay, so anytime, think when you have something going on dental, something going on dental, give them a sample of some clove oil. It will really help their day if they can't get into the dentist right away. Now, you're going to find clove oil in a whole mirror of different products. You find them in candy, gum, mouthwashes, but the difference for what we have versus those is they are synthetic. It's not a real clove. It's something that's been man-made. So the real clove, why not have the real clove, right? You can do your own thing, but those are synthetic, just so you know that those are not a real clove oil. And they do not have to tell you on the label if it's synthetic, because typically it's going to be, because that's the most cost-effective way of getting something to taste like, so and that's what their bottom line is this, making sure that they are going to make the money that they need to make or want to make. Now, clove itself is up to 85% in phenols. What are phenols? So every essential oil has constituents to it. In other words, the compounds in that essential oil is it's like their own signature, like we have our fingerprints. Every essential oil has their own compounds within that. So up to 85% phenols. What are phenols? Phenols are, first off, they're very high antioxidants. And clove oil happens to be the highest antioxidant that you can get. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So phenols, and it's up to 85% in phenols. It is the most powerful antibacterial, anti-infectious, antiseptic constituents in the plant world. They're also very stimulating to both the nervous system and the immune system, and they contain high levels of oxygenation molecules and have antioxidant properties. Okay, so knowing that will help you kind of understand what to do. So there are other oils that are similar to this that have high phenols in there, like it's like nutmeg, cinnamon, basil, are also others that are really good, or you find the phenols in there, or higher amounts of phenols. So being as a high antioxidant, what does that do for us? So an antioxidant is helping reduce inflammation in the body. So the nervous system, the immune system, we want to reduce inflammation. So clove is very good for that. You can take it internally, or you can actually just put it on you topically. It'll do the same thing. Put it on the bottom of your feet, and this will also help in reducing the amount of inflammation in the body. So if you're trying to eliminate inflammation, clove is a very good one to consider for that, and reducing that antioxidant, or reducing the inflammation of our immune system. And that's pretty important, because the other thing about that is it's very anti-parasitic. So if we have things going on for candida, or if we know that we have a parasitic going on, clove is another one to take internally so that it goes through the digestive system. So when you are thinking about how do I use this, do I apply it topically, do I take it internally, and plus, how do I know I can even take it internally? Well, first off, doTERRA has a supplement pack. You guys have seen this before, but there is a supplement pack on there that tells you that this can be used internally. It says that you can dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. This is how you know how to use doTERRA's and know you can use it internally. It doesn't have a supplement pack. You should not ingest this, okay? Just use caution. When we are using this internally, and how you decide if you want to use an essential oil internally or apply topically, is where's the problem? What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on that digestive system? Well, if you add it topically, this is something you have to remember. Clove can be very sensitive on the skin because it's a hot oil. You want to make sure that you're diluting it with your carrier oil. Some people don't have that sensitivity. So if you know you don't have it, always check first. Check a spot where it's not going to bother you for the rest of the day, right? Or for the next 3 to 4 hours. If you ever apply an essential oil and it is sensitive, you start turning red, okay, that's sensitivity, not an allergy reaction, then add an oil, like the carrier oil, fractionated coconut oil, olive oil, whatever oil that you're using as a carrier oil, just apply it over it and it will help dissipate that. Don't use water. Water will drive it in more and it'll make it hotter actually. So try to remember, don't use water, but use caution when using it and applying it topically. Topically, we'll get it in very quickly. Within 30 seconds, I know that sounds like, how the heck does that work, right? So once you apply an essential oil on you, it only takes 30 seconds to get into the bloodstream. Once it gets into the bloodstream, it goes everywhere it's supposed to go. But if you really want to focus on something different, like the candida, for instance, I would want to put that in a capsule. You can buy empty capsules and put 3 to 4 drops in a capsule and take it that way. If you have digestive upset, which clove is good for also, you can use it topically. Just remember, make sure that you're not highly sensitive to it, okay? First. And don't ever come out of the shower and put hot oil on you, or a hot oil like clove or cinnamon, because your pores are open and that makes it even more sensitive, makes your skin more sensitive. So remember that. Don't put it where the sun don't shine, okay? because you won't want to, especially for you guys out there. Be very cautious for even picking up a bottle of an essential oil, because that could be very devastating to you. If you want to be very warm, that's fine. That's your choice. Anyway, a little humor there. But clove is also good for arthritis, for any kind of muscle aches, because it's very warming to those muscles. And yes, there you would want to apply it topically, right? Not take it internally. Boils, it could be good for that as well. And canker sores. Now, canker sores, they can be internal or external. You decide how you want to use it. You want to put a little dab on your finger and just hold it, or hold it on the inside, or do you want to put it on a Q-tip? Like I discussed earlier, where you have 1 drop of clove and a teaspoonful of carrier oil. That's all you need. I know that doesn't sound like that's very much, but that's all you'll need. Clove is also good for cholesterol. And it's also, since it's an antiseptic, we can also use it for cleaning. So if you really like the smell of clove, you can always add it to a spray bottle with water and shake it every time, because oil and water don't mix, right? So spray it every time. Spray your countertops or whatever it is that you want to clean up. It's an antiseptic, okay? Or maybe you've got something else going on that you feel that you could utilize that with. But again, use caution whenever you're doing that. And if you're using a water base, if it's for anything wound related, you want to use a distilled water, okay, so that you know that there's no bacteria in there. And so when we're looking for things like infectious, like inflammation in the body, whether it's bacterial or viral, clove is one of those that will also help with that either way. So thinking about any kind of infection or bacterial infection, usually you want to dilute it quite a bit. And there again, you can use a 1 drop into a teaspoon of carrier oil and use it that way, unless you feel like you can tolerate 1 drop by itself and apply it, or you can use it and put it in the spray bottle. You can put it in a roller bottle. So like a 5 ml bottle, you could do a whole 5 ml bottle of coconut oil, make 3/4 of it your carrier oil, like fractionated coconut oil, and then the rest of it put in your essential oil, which is going to equal 10 to 20 drops, depending on, you know, exactly where you stop, right? And you can use it that way. Okay, I'm trying to keep track of my thoughts. Okay, so we know that we can use clove 3 different ways: aromatically, topically, and internally. So if we use it aromatically, we're still getting benefits of the antioxidant because we're still getting it into our bloodstreams, okay? It's just coming in through a different direction, not just topically. We're going to smell it, so we still get benefits. You can also find clove in many of doTERRA's products, like all the On Guard products that doTERRA has. That's our protecting blend for our immune system. And we have a ton of different stuff. We have the toothpaste, we have the laundry detergent, we have cleaning supplies, we have a mirror, different things. And we also have an On Guard Plus, which is this. This is something that I feel every household should have and be prepared for. The reason why is because this is your cold, flu, whatever in a bottle, so that when you feel something coming on, take a couple of these soft gels, and typically you're either not going to have a long as a duration, or you're not going to come down with it at all. Jean takes these every single day. And yes, clove is also good for cancer. And the reason why is because cancer happens to be inflammation in the body. So yeah, thank you for that, Cindy, because yes, Cindy is, it's clove is exceptional for that because of the antioxidant uh, properties that it has. So it helps reduce that inflammation. Now, that's something that if you have anything major like that, you really want to sit down with someone and really think about how much are you using on a daily basis and how often, but definitely something to take internally. And again, anytime I've ever felt something, I take this, a couple of these, and I'm usually fine. In fact, I had someone here recently that he got super stressed out and got a really nasty cold. And I says, "You don't sound too good." He goes, "Nope, I'm not." And I'm like, so I gave him 3 days worth. I said, take 2 in the morning, 2 at night for 3 days. And you know what? 4 days later, it's like, it's all gone. And I'm like, I was like, so if we give the body what it desires or what it needs, it has the ability to take care of itself if we just allow it to do that, right? Now, another one that you guys might not have even thought about, but how about our oxidative stress in our brain, in our cells, okay? This is where another place where you'll find clove because it's a high antioxidant. We need brain support, and that is what fish oil and land and marine, both those omegas and clove are very good for helping all these cells up here, not just our entire cell or our cells in our body, but here, because this is going to keep it in line. So when doTERRA puts something together, they think about what are the needs for the body to help it repair and replenish what it's depleted of each and every day. And in fact, I just heard Dr. Hill, David Hill, he's one of our founders and of doTERRA, and he actually spoke of this last September again, that it's because every time they come out with something, someone's always saying, "Oh, well, why don't you add this? Or if you did this, it would do this. Or if you just add a little bit more of this, it would do this." He goes, and he says, that's not what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do is let the body repair itself. We're giving it, replenishing what your body has expelled for the day. So like most of us don't eat well, right? Or we don't eat the proper amount of foods, and really only eating 3 times a day or eating big meals 3 times a day is not what our body is supposed to do. We're supposed to eat a little bit all day long to keep our insulin levels up, but we don't do that. So how many of you, and I know a lot of you still work, will go home after working, eat a large meal, maybe you skipped lunch, and by now you're got home and you're starving, right? And you eat this great big dinner, and what are you doing for the rest of the night? Most of us are coming home, sit on the couch, watch TV. That's the general population doing that. Is it a problem within our society? Absolutely. So we also found, and we will find, clove in our metabolic blend of slim and fasty also, because it's also helpful for not just digestive aid, but it's also helpful in reducing those fats, the fat cells, and depleting some of that fat cells. So it's like if you think about a balloon, it's helping decrease them along with other oils. What does it do? What does clove oil do for us emotionally? You ever thought about that? And then we just had this conversation not too long ago that everything that we do on an emotional scale will have an effect on our physical body. If our physical body is not well, What are we doing on a social scale? What are we doing on what's our stress level like? We really have to think about our emotional health. Emotional health is helping the body, the physical body, back to good health. So clove on emotional support is the oil of boundaries. So what it does is it supports people in letting go of that victim mentality. So not only is it good for all these things that we've been talking about, but it's going to assist people in helping them let go of that self betrayal, and whether you had trauma as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, it doesn't matter where, it will help in eliminating those negative thoughts. So if you want to be more positive and be more empowered and have clear boundaries and feel more protected, courageous, and be independent and capable and proactive, then clove is something you want to think about on the emotional side. Now, how would you use that for emotional? Just smell it. Smell it well 3 times a day. Put it in your diffuser, and you can use other oils along with it and create your own ambiance of what you want to smell. The clove will be there, but what would you like to put with it? Would you like to put a happy oil like clove, like wild orange, or maybe lemon even? There's a mirror of different variety of oils that you can put together and create a fragrance all your own. And I think that's what's so really cool about having these essential oils, as not only can we use them on our physical, and we can use them on the emotional side too by just diffusing them. So not only are we going to get the benefits of the emotional response, but we also help clean up the air within our homes. That's something that you don't get with a lot of other fragrance pods that you get, like you can buy at the store, like the Febreze and things like that. They're all a synthetic and not the real thing. So get the real thing out and create your own environment. With that, clove will also blend well with cinnamon, cassia, rosemary, wild orange, and copaiba, or copaiba, however way you want to pronounce it. It's from Brazil, so it depends on what part of the world you're from as to how you pronounce that. Is there anybody that'd like to add anything, or is there any questions at this point? If you do, you can just unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat or in the conversation and text it to me. No. So Cindy, how much oil, a clove oil, are you using?
I usually put it about 3 to 4 times a day. I rub it on my stomach.
Okay.
I have not been taking it internally, but I think I will start doing that.
Okay.
In a capsule.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a very good choice for you to do at this point. I won't go into details, but that sounds like something that would be very helpful for you to take it internally. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, because I was every night with probably about, I don't know, probably about 6, 7 different oils I rub on every night, the area.
Okay.
But there again, I haven't been taking any internally really. I do notice, gosh, like I was taking too many vitamins and my urine, because I think I was overdoing vitamins, and I had to stop and let my body just drain it. And I did notice not taking the lifelong vitality this week. Today I was just exhausted. It's like I woke up and I can feel my body just doesn't have any energy. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's something I just cannot do without. The lifelong vitality, the deep prime, and yeah, and some of the other capsules that I usually take on a daily basis. I do know definitely keeps me going in my energy. So that keeps me up. And at this point, gosh, I'm stopping. I ain't working for 3 months because I got to focus on myself because my cancer got larger. And it was mainly because I was working 6 days a week, almost 12 hours a day, not paying attention and just going. And it's like, yeah, no, I had to change. So now I'm just at home doing paperwork for the business. But other than that, I'm trying to do everything on a regular basis to decrease this cancer again, because I can't operate at this point because it's spread to the left side, and yeah, so that's what,
Okay.
and yeah.
I'm sorry to hear
point,
that, but knowing what happens, because we have to think about what we're doing to our own bodies, and stress is the number one. And if we're stressing ourselves out too much, our body is going to be inflamed. And then, so as long as it's inflamed, it's going to continue to do, it can't do what it's supposed to do. And I know there is a group on Facebook, and it's about, I'll send it to you, but it's people that have cancer, and they, all the different things that they're different people doing different things. And I read all the different testimonies that are in there. It's just amazing, because it's not just, doTERRA is great products, but it's when you have something major like that, we have to look at what other things. And I know you already looked into and have done many different things. Mm-hmm. So I just want people that are watching the replay, it's like, when you have a major illness, find someone that likes integrative medicine and that can help you get to where you want to go. What's that goal? If you don't want to go on the traditional side of things, you're going to have to find someone that's a really great coach to teach you through and get you through. Yeah. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I appreciate
and I think
that.
Right now, the only thing I know, because I definitely ain't taking no chemo and no radiation. I already told the doctors I'd rather die than do that, because that'll kill me first, And at this point, just stop working. And my girls, they're really supporting me on this and helping me. And Good. Then I know the doctor did say, I guess, the hormone therapy, but I don't qualify for that, which is good, because once I heard all the side effects, I said, oh, heck no. And then now the immune therapy. So, but then when I was reading today with the immune therapy, there's like 4 different ways they do it. And I'm waiting for the doctor to call me back and to say, to explain more of what they had in mind, immune therapy. So anyway, other than that, I'm just definitely using the oils, the castor oils, putting that on my stomach now at nighttime and just letting it soak in overnight with the oils. And yeah, so that's all I can do. So hopefully it'll sink and then start decreasing it.
Yes, and less stress. Yeah, don't work 12-hour days. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to do with myself.
I can think of different things. I'm gonna come out to my place now. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you for that. So again, thank you for being here for my continuing education. And if you're listening to this replay, please get together with the person that shared this with you. And I hope that you find a lot of good information here. You can always reach out to me, and my website is naturals4animals.com, and that is naturals with an S, 4 animals with an s.com. And you can certainly send me some information, and I can reach out to me through there. Again, thank you for being here, and we'll see you again on May it's the 3rd So I teach this the 1st and 3rd, so that's the 17th of May. We'll see you again here at that time.
All right.
Hold on, Cindy.
Okay.
Da, da, da.